Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another 2 video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Ironbanner weapons that are being added this season. We're going to be going over what are they, what are the perks that can roll on the weapons, and also the roles that you should be looking out for. So tomorrow when the Ironbanner starts, you'll pretty much have an idea of exactly what you're looking for and the roles that you should be on the lookout for. So let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. Now there's 2 different weapons being added with this week's Ironbanner. One new one and one reprise, and let's start with the new one because it's probably what everyone's pretty much excited about. This is probably one of the most hyped up weapons this season since everyone found out it was going to be a rocket sidearm. You know, rocket sidearms are still amazing, and this one has some pretty spicy things that are working in its favor. But here it is Tinishas Mastery, a stasis rocket sidearm. And I'm sure you guys can already see, it's got choke clip. And choke clip is pretty much going to be the perk that everyone's going to be going for in this slot. Do you have another couple of decent perks, like One for All, or even Surrounded or Frenzy, but there's nothing going to be as good as choke clip. You're going to be able to proc choke clip so much on this sidearm, it's going to be a little bit crazy. You're going to be constantly slowing, freezing. Now, the real question that I have when it comes to choke clip on this sidearm is just how many shots it's actually going to take to freeze an enemy. Currently, we don't know because we haven't gotten our hands on the weapon, but once we do, I think it's gonna end up being around 3 shots. Kinda like the rapid fire fusion rifles, which probably means that they should probably unnerf the rapid fire fusion rifles because this thing is just gonna do the same thing that they're gonna be trying to do, but just better because you can get shots out there much faster. Well, that's gonna be the case if it actually ends up freezing 3 shots, which most likely that's what it's gonna be. I don't really see it being 4, but I definitely don't see it being 2. So I think 3 is like the middle ground and the one that Bungie's probably going to be going for. So you're definitely going to be able to proc choke clip a couple of times with the sidearm. And this weapon's probably about to be the best choke clip in the game, just period. I don't really see anything else being as good as this sidearm. This is just going to dominate with choke clip in a lot of things pretty much. Especially some of those endgame activities or activities with champions. Now for your first column perk, we don't really have like super great perks in this slot. We do have like loose change to get some more reload speed, which does work pretty well with choke clip, but I think just the best perk in this slot is going to be air trigger. Air trigger, not only is it going to give you some of that reload speed for being up in the air, but it will also increase your reserves. That pretty much gives like air trigger like an unfair advantage since it's like the only perk in this slot that will actually increase the reserves. Nothing else is really going to do anything as useful as that, especially now that the sidearms or the rocket sidearms don't have as much ammo as they used to. You definitely want to have something to increase those reserves, and air trigger is just perfect for that, while still getting a bunch of reload speed, so you can also just keep using choke clip. It's just like the perfect perk for this weapon. This is the one that you want to go for, with the reload perks being, you know, not far behind, but definitely not as good as air trigger. Things like loose change, impulse amplifier, even in light and action, I can see all of those being pretty okay. Now for your magazine, if you're taking it into PvE, which of course you are, is a rocket sidearm, you're pretty much looking to extend the magazine. So you're pretty much going to go with something that increases your magazine, something like a pendant mag, maybe tactical mag, maybe even extended mag. All these 3 mag perks are going to be pretty good. As long as it increases your mag size, it's going to be pretty fine. Oh my god, we pretty much will look like something like this. Hard launch to get some of that velocity, a pendant mag so we can get some magazine, air trigger for the reload and the reserves, and then lastly choke clip, just because choke clip is going to be so freaking good on this weapon. But yeah, this is pretty much like what you're going to be looking for, and this should be a pretty nice sidearm that can pretty much do well at anything. But I'm really excited about the sidearm. I'm pretty sure everybody is excited about the sidearm. It's going to be fantastic, and something tells me that we're definitely going to be seeing the code drop a few ranks on like the usage charts, because people are going to be moving over to this sidearm instead. Now the other weapon that we're going to be getting is going to be the reprise weapon, which is ARCHON'S Thunder. This is from season 9 or season 10, around there. That's where this machine gun was. It is a high impact frame machine gun, so that's immediately going to turn off some of you guys. I know, I'm also not like the biggest fan of high impact frame machine guns, but those are a pretty spicy perk selection that you guys may actually really like. So first of all, here for the first perk, we have Desperate Measures, Onslaught, Headstone, Killing Tally, Tap the Trigger, Target Lock, and also Rewind Rounds. Another main ones that pretty much catch my attention right away are going to be Killing Tally, since we already killed things pretty easily with this machine gun, so killing tally adding more damage just pretty much makes it even better at just killing things, and also just not using a lot of ammo. Headstone is also something that you can use, especially if you're like on a stasis build. It can definitely give you some synergy with the machine gun, especially because we do have the Rhyme Stealer perk on this one. So you could go Rhyme Stealer, Headstone, get some Frost Armor for just breaking some of those crystals. That can be pretty good. And then you even have things like Onslaught and Desperate Measures, which should be pretty okay as well. I don't really like Desperate Measures considering we already have like Killing Tally and they both like do the same thing. Just like Killing Tally just kind of like does it better. But Onslaught could definitely help with the free of the machine gun, especially if you don't like the slower firing machine guns. But if that's the case, then you probably should be using a different type of machine gun. I think you shouldn't be using this one in the first place. Very interesting that this machine has rewind rounds. It has a very interesting role here with rewind rounds 4 times the charm, which is a role that people really like on like the higher RPM machine guns. But I'm not sure we're gonna get the same value out of this one as you do with the higher RPM machine guns. You're not really gonna be DPSing with this type of machine guns. These things are more for like ad clear. But I think in this slot, I think the best ones would definitely be like either Headstone or Killing Tally, with a couple of situations maybe going for rewind rounds. Now for the first perk, we have Air Trigger, Light in Action, Envious, 4 times the Charm, Rim Stealer, and then High Impact Reserves, which is not something that we see on this slot all the time. High Impact Reserves usually tend to be like a 4th slot type of perk, but here's on the 3rd slot, so that's something. Now for this slot, you have Rhyme Stealer. If you decide to go with Headstone the other slot, that would be pretty good. Maybe even Rhyme Stealer by itself could be pretty good if you're running on like a stasis build. I would say High Impact Reserves, those have some synergy with something like Rewind Rounds, since you can stay on that bottom half of the magazine for longer with it. So you can actually take advantage of this a lot longer than you would probably think, actually. So I could definitely see like High Impact Reserves working pretty well with the Rewind Rounds, funnily enough. You also have things like 4 times the Charm, plus Rewind Rounds, even when you just get some free ammo. You know, that could work as well. Light in Action to get some extra reload speed, and also Air Trigger to get some more reserves, as well as some extra reload speed. That can also be pretty good. There's nothing like super mind-blowing, like super crazy on this machine gun. It's a pretty decent machine gun with some pretty decent perks, but that's about it. I don't think it's really gonna be like super meta. I don't think a lot of people are gonna be like super crazy about this machine gun. It's just gonna be an okay machine gun that some people like, especially because of the looks, because of like the way the machine gun looks. If I can, nope, I can't bring up a picture, huh? Okay, I forgot. This is how you do it. Yeah, but it does look pretty cool. You know, it's a cool looking machine gun, and it's a high impact frame, so they do have their fans. So I'm sure some people will go for it. But I think it's gonna be a pretty average machine gun with some good perks that might be okay in PvE. So that's pretty much what I want to say about those weapons. I'm definitely very excited for them. I'm definitely going to try to be grinding a good sidearm as soon as the Ironbanner goes live. And I'll make sure to update you guys in the comments below how many shots it actually takes to freeze a target in PvE. So if you guys are interested in that, just check the comments and there might actually be a comment there already. If it's too early, then there won't be. But, you know, that's just how it is. But thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys get the God Rolls that you're going for fast, so you don't really have to grind too much of the banner. Because I know the pain. But thank you all for stopping by, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.